December 11th. This is January 5th, so it's not quite a month since we were out last. John's made a trip down to the river since then, with the time he had off of work. Put in a lot of work, fished a few spots, and then he ended up smacking a nice laker. I don't know if it was his first or second outing, but it was before it was bright enough to film. So unfortunately, he got a passerby that helped potentially. I don't know if they helped net the fish or not, but they came by to check out the fish and took the photo for him. So, but anyways, that day, December 11th, the birthday session / Christmas special, we ended up bottom bouncing, and it's not my favorite technique. So we're down here. This is almost 11 years to the day. I met up with Nishine, and he's big into bass fishing. He's got the craziest, most extensive lineup of bass baits you can ever imagine. He hand carves everything, makes the molds, sends the molds off to the manufacturer, and then he tests everything fanatically. And him and Paul Castellano and Dennis Trees and everybody, they kind of field testers, and he's got guys on the pro tour that uses baits and that. But Hiroshi, when he kind of first was getting established in Canada, I'm not sure how long he's been in Canada, but I met him back in 2013 and got to try out some of his baits that he actually hand delivered, which was pretty cool. Got into some nice salmon with his body baits. They're not really designed for that, but the hooks are amazing. I've been using some of his soft plastics down on the river, and they've been doing really well. So hopefully I'll get a chance to use those today, as I picked up some new colors. So yeah, I met him back down here 2013, almost 11 years ago. I'll show you my, I've had some requests for my bottom bouncing rig to show you how that's set up. So I will, towards the end of the day today, I'll give you my bottom bouncing rig, but hopefully there's only half a dozen cars here, so hopefully I'll get a decent drift and smack a fish on the Nishine minnows. I think the new color I liked was like Tennessee shad or something. I got that at Peter's Tackle. I almost called it Angela's Tackle. But there's only a half a dozen cards here, so I'm going to throw a few things in my bag that are all strewn across my back seat and try to put some sort of a plan together and get into a fish or two before work. Got a nice colored up buck. Fishing a drift I haven't fished probably since 2013, when I was telling you about fishing with Hiroshi. This is the exact rock I was standing on when I got that laker. It's a sneaky little back drift that doesn't set up very often. See if I can land this fish. It's on the Tennessee shad. from Nishine Lure Works I was talking about. But I'm kind of hemmed in. The current is like going the wrong way from what I'm used to, and everybody's already kind of settled in their drifts. There was one drift I wanted to get over at the point. I didn't want to crowd the other guys there, so I already got a bunch of ice on my tips here, and I didn't really test my line before I got down here, so hopefully this fish cooperates. Got a nice little colored up buck on the Nishine Tennessee shad minnow. This is what I wanted to do today. Twitch up a fish before I headed into work. A little glimpse of the minnow. It's got some iridescence to it and kind of looks like an emerald shiner and a smelt and a shad all at the same time. Nice color profile, good size. And that's the result. Send it back. Okay, we got fish number 2 on the Nishine Tennessee shad. This has been a bit of a grind. I'm doing really well, but the drift is pretty awkward. I have to like just kind of cast to the water when it's starting to move properly, and I just have to be confident that the fish are there and let the bait do its business. And so yeah, fish number 2. The GoPros are anyways, this minnow took a beating on this last fish in the net when it was twisting around. But I'll give you a quick look at this second fish. Got the second fish of the day. Got the second fish of the day on the Nishine Tennessee shad. I'm gonna send it back. Take a look at my phone, see what time it is. I feel like I've gotten both these fish in under an hour and a half, I think. There's a few fish coming out, but I'm doing pretty good compared to the rest of the pool. I think I just hooked into a laker. I don't know how good it's hooked or how deep it's hooked, so I'm just gonna take my time with this one. And I just like put a new minnow on like 3 drifts ago after releasing my last fish. I don't know if the camera was working properly for the last fish, but I've got 2 rainbows landed. One was a dark buck. The second one was like a winter fish. And I think I got a big laker on now, so I'm just going to take my time and I'll check back with you. Yeah, kind of fitting. It was like, I don't know, 11 years ago. I might have got my math wrong. It's been a long time since I fished this spot, and I got a laker doing the exact same thing. Fishing with Hiroshi last time, and this time I'm using Hiroshi's minnow. I would love to land this. It's gonna rip my arm off. But these minnows look so good in the water. I've caught on like all his other colors, but this one kind of spoke to me. Let's see if I can get this fish in before it rips my arm off. Okay. Sorry for the shoddy camera work, but my hands are frozen. The GoPros keep dying. Got another fish on the Tennessee shad. Giant angry laker beat me up, but I love me a good laker, and the river's fishing pretty good today. I didn't check what time it was yet, but of course I have to say it, but the Grand Slam's on the table. Lovely fish. Alright, invariably everyone always wants to know the setup in the comment section, so I thought I'd just go over it quick while I'm warming up my hands. Got a 11 gram piker float Drennan on a 12 pound main line, down to a little micro swivel, extra small Raven barrel swivel. I got a little float stop below the float to catch my float if I have a break off and to keep it from smashing into the weights. So the 12 pound steps down to 10 pound shot line, which, so 12 pound to the 10 pound shot line, down to 8 pound leader, Raven 8.4 pound fluorocarbon, down to a 90 degree Gamakatsu 2-aught jig hook, the little BB shot pinched on to the neck of the hook there, down to the obviously the Nishine Tennessee shad. Anyways, so I haven't even been down here 2 hours yet, and I've hit 3 fish. So I'm gonna get a couple more drifts going on, and see what we can do. See if we can get that brown. Okay, gonna play some chess. Play some chess now. It's 12 o'clock. I need to warm up a little bit. I don't think anyone's gonna take this drift if I leave it. Everybody wants to be down there where the water's moving. All the anglers to my left, all the anglers this way, they just left. And I need to warm up, so I'm going to take a walk over there and take a couple drifts over in that corner. I think it looked like they were mostly using spinning rods in that, so hopefully with this presentation then maybe I can, and this minnow, then maybe I can pick off another fish before I gotta go. I might pack it in early if I hit a fish over there, and kind of consider this a successful little mission. I wasn't planning on coming out today. I just had a bad day at work yesterday, and John wanted to have another trout video for the channel, so I thought, what the heck, let's go hit the river. So anyways, I'm gonna pack up, get over there before anyone else moves in on that spot, and then hopefully I grab one fish out of there, and then I can head home, well, head to work and grab a cheeseburger. The water behind me is not really moving like I thought it was, looking at it from where I was standing. If I kept drifting here, I could probably get another Laker. But I don't know, it's kind of a wonky drift, and if I do hook something good here, the chances of landing it I don't think are as good, so I might head back to where I started, take a couple drifts now that it's rested for a couple minutes, and if I don't hit something right away, then I'll probably just call it cheeseburger time. But when I get back to the parking lot, if you don't see me with another fish, when I get back to the parking lot, then at the end of this video, I'll just show you how I had set up my bottom bouncing rig from the last video. So we're gonna head back, and we'll either see you with a fish or we'll see you in the parking lot. And one last note, I don't think I mentioned this when later on when I talk about this rig, but none of this is to length. Like, I just have this tied together to show you what I was doing. I think the day that I was fishing, like, I think my leader was like 4 feet long, and then I think my dropper was like 1.5 feet or something. But these are all things that you have to customize. But I'll go through here now and I'll show you how I tied up the rig for the last video. Alright, sorry for the filming today. My tripod is trash. My GoPros keep dying. I had them hooked up to a power bank. Stupid helicopters. But the power bank I thought was going to be the answer, but the GoPro still started doing a bunch of weird things. So I might have missed a fish today in the filming. There were a few requests in the comments from the last video, the brown trout video, where people were asking how I set up my bottom bouncing rig. This is probably not going to show it very well on camera, but if you want to get an idea of what I got going on here, it's just basically a helicopter rig from carp fishing. But I have a fine diameter main line. Is probably like a little lighter than I should have gone with, but I had spooled up with 8 pound fluoro for a trout trip that I had planned. So this is the main line, and then on the main line I have just a float stop, and then on the main line I have just a micro swivel. I can do whatever it wants, kind of go up and down. It's So the main line is just threaded on the micro swivel is just threaded on the main line. So the main line is 8 pound. My hook link, or my leader, depending on which fish terminology you want to use, but so this is 8 pound main line, and then off the swivel, the free flowing swivel here, I have 6.8 pound Raven fluorocarbon down to like a size 12 hook, down to the size 12 hook. It's Snell. So I got that Snell knotted on there, and whatever bead you want to run. So this bead and leader and everything is just hanging off a swivel on your main line. The float stop is just to keep it from flying up your line on the cast and everything. So we got another micro swivel here that goes down to the dropper, that goes down to your pencil lead or whatever. And then this was 5.4 pound test. So this is the weakest link, so that hopefully if I snag up, I'll just have to tie another weight on. I don't have to tie another bead and everything. So main line, float stop. Float stop keeps the swivel from flying up the line on the cast and whatnot. You got your hook and bead and everything. And then a little bead here. I got this bead just sitting on top of another float stop above the swivel, and then this is the dropper down to the pencil lead. So when you cast out and your line finally goes taut, then the current can grab a hold of the bead and pull it away from your main line. And I had like no tangles the entire time I was fishing. Obviously, like, you probably want to step this up a little bit, because when I'm fighting the fish, like, this swivel's pulling against my main line, and it was only 8 pound test, but it held up. I didn't lose any fish. But anyways, that's the basic out of the trunk of my car description of how I was running my bottom bouncing rig the last time. This is kind of like it was half just making a carp rig and half copying what I saw Kyle McClelland do. His old trout channel used to be XXL Chrome Chasing, and now it's called Adventure Chasing. But he was doing a lot of shore casting, and he was using this basic setup, and he was I think he was like backdrifting one episode 2 and using this kind of setup, but I just modified it a little bit with the float stop up top and that. But so there's examples of this out there, but this is how I had set up the last video, and hopefully you enjoyed the last video. And if you like this video, hopefully we can sneak out and make another trout video before spring. But if not, I know that we have a couple of carp videos in the catalog that have to be edited and uploaded, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, and then hopefully you'll get notifications when those videos go up. But thanks for watching the video, and thanks for subscribing. If you want to check out some of our other trout videos, just click on one of the ones on the screen. Oh, wow, he's sulking.